So I put up a poll yesterday, asking which video would you prefer? Would you prefer a CM Punk collision? Would you prefer a who would win Money in the Bank? Would you prefer all in London Dream matches? And you tied Money in the Bank, all in Dream matches. So whichever of these comes out first, that's the one you get. Democracy. Hello and welcome to FTTR. I am Hugh McQuaid, and today we are talking about who will win Money in the Bank 2023 men's and women's. But before we dive into that, please hit subscribe, please like this video, please comment who you think should win Money in the Bank down below, and I will try and reply to every single one of them. So let's dive into this, because there's a few things to pick apart before we get into my picks. The first one, the big cloud hanging over these Money in the Banks, is who is going to be champion. So the women's is actually, it's a pretty open field, because Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley have been presented quite well in that they are fallible. They are fallible people who could get beaten with a Money in the Bank cash-in. That being said, on the men's side, Roman Reigns, it's very hard to pick who should win Money in the Bank when Roman Reigns is likely going to be champion till WrestleMania next year. Very, very hard. So I had to rack my brains who would be good for Roman and who would be good for post-Roman. That was the biggest challenge going into this particular listing. So with that all out of the way, shall we just dive into who should win the women's Money in the Bank briefcase? So coming in at number 4, we have a perfectly selfish pick for me, and I'm going to put her on every single list I think that I do that involves the Women's Championship. It is from NXT, Miko Satomura, because I love Miko Satomura so much. I think she is someone who could hugely benefit from being presented on the main roster and being presented as a seasoned badass, coming in, winning the Money in the Bank ladder match, taking that contract and then throwing it down in front of either Bianca Belair or Rhea Ripley. I think I'd quite like Miko Satomura versus Rhea Ripley, please. That would be hella exciting. It doesn't need any sort of build. It's just dream match legend scenario. If you present Miko in a way that gets fans excited, gets people riled up, and really present her as a top level star, then this could be a really great and entertaining feud using the Money in the Bank briefcase. It doesn't have to be a cheap cash-in. It can just be an honourable throwdown between two megastars. So yeah, Miko Satomura, you'll always be on my lists. Coming in at number 4, we have Piper Niven. This is someone who potentially doesn't even need the briefcase, but this would perfectly set up a feud with Rhea Ripley. I think winning the Money in the Bank ladder match for, I nearly said Doudrop then, I'm trying to erase that from my mind, for Piper Niven would be really, really big. I think she needs something to catapult her into that main event scene, and this could be it. Having a really strong showing in the Money in the Bank match, hitting huge ladder spots, huge dives, all that good kind of stuff that really gets people over with those matches. Winning the thing, and again, like I said for Miko, just throwing it down like a babyface does, just throwing it down, saying, I want you, Rhea Ripley, because I know I'm the better of us. I know I am the big star, I'm the biggest, I'm the strongest, I am the hardest hitting member of the women's roster. And having that play out, even if Piper doesn't win, I think could be really, really beneficial for Piper Niven's character and really help her grow as a main roster superstar. I think she's a great pick to win Money in the Bank. Coming in at number 3, we have someone who already won it and then got fucked over by the booking. Let's give Liv Morgan another shot, shall we? As she got screwed with the booking when she won the championship. Absolutely screwed. The cash-in was amazing. It was really cathartic to see a fan favourite win, and she just got awful, awful treatment at the hands of Ronda Rousey in that feud. God, that was awful. Just awful, the way she acted, the way she was scared, the way she had to build herself to get extreme. It did not work in the slightest for me, and I think we can go back around now. we love Liv again. Let's try this again. Let's reboot this because she's great. We all love Liv. Her performance in the Royal Rumble was phenomenal. We all loved that underdog babyface run that she had in the Rumble, and you can capture that again. And I think perhaps a way to do this is have her be more confident with it. She wins the Money in the Bank. She's more confident going into the cash-in that she makes. Maybe repeat it, do it on the night on Bianca Belair or Rhea Ripley. And because before, she nearly got tapped out. Ronda Rousey got her leg and nearly tapped her out. This time she goes in fully confident. It's a full circle moment. And we get that cathartic win again. Hopefully with better booking following it up. I think it could be really good for Liv to be a 2-time Money in the Bank winner and a 2-time successful cashing in. I think that's a word. So yeah, Liv Morgan number 3. Coming in at number 2, Candice LeRae, someone who has been, again, abysmally booked on the main roster. What has she even done? This is Candice LeRae, who had one of my favourite NXT matches I've ever seen against Io Shirai, now Io Sky. Love that match. Really, really do. But Candice has just been a nothing part of the main roster and could really use something to catapult her into that main event scene, because she is so damn likeable. She's so likeable as a babyface that you want to root for. And I think presenting it as an underdog babyface with this briefcase, challenging Rhea Ripley, who I think should turn heel at this point, just have her as a big badass heel, I think that works. And having Candice be the one to eventually dethrone her for that belt by building herself up, building up her confidence, racking up wins while she's got this case, and then a few months down the line saying, I want Rhea Ripley at SummerSlam, something like that. And there we have that, again, cathartic moment of underdog triumph. That's something that is really, really misrepresented with Money in the Bank cash-ins. They're often used for dastardly heel shenanigans. I think The Miz, I think Theory, I think Rollins, all doing this sort of cash-in stuff that's very heel-like. It's very rare a babyface gets a good cathartic moment like Liv Morgan had last year. So Candice LeRae will be a perfect contender for that. She's such a likeable babyface. So after everything I just said, my number 1 pick to win the women's Money in the Bank is Shayna Baszler, because heel shenanigans do work. We do like them if they're with the right people. And I think Shayna Baszler cashing in on a beaten down, broken Bianca Belair makes her tap would just be a wonderful story to tell. The EST of WWE tapped out in a moment of crisis. That could really play on the mind of Belair. She could really get enthralled with that, go into a sort of downward spiral of building back her confidence as Shayna just goes on a mega tear with the belt, being a dastardly heel with Ronda in her corner. She plays the heel so well, the cocky, arrogant heel. I love it. I think Shayna would be really, really good at the top of that card. She should have beaten Becky. Let's be honest, she should have beaten Becky at WrestleMania. And I think now is the time to pull the trigger. We know Trips loves her. She's a great promo. She's got a great physical presence to her. She could carry that Money in the Bank with swag and cash in like a dastardly bastard mercenary. I think she'd just be fantastic with the Money in the Bank and with the belt. So yeah, Shayna Baszler is my number 1 pick to win the women's Money in the Bank. Now we are moving on to the men's side of things. This is a lot harder because we have one champion who's going to be champion for a while. So we'll see where this goes. But these are my 6 picks. Coming in at number 6, we have Mustafa Ali. Just do something with this incredible man, you cowards. Coming in at number 5.5, because I did want to give a mention to this man. I think Austin Theory was again screwed Money in the Bank wise. I get he gets no reaction. I get his character maybe overdone, overplayed. He doesn't really have a character. But I think you could really build something around him and the Money in the Bank that wasn't created when he won. I think there is something there in that dickish heel carrying the briefcase. There's something there with him. I don't know what it is. But I just wanted to mention him because he did get royally over. Okay. Coming in at number 5, we have someone who could use a lot of momentum. He's on an upward trajectory. This could only help him. Bronson Reed, the big unit of a man, could be fantastic with the Money in the Bank briefcase. I like to think of him as like an ominous threat hanging over WWE or whoever's the champion. He wins it and then he goes away. He is a mercenary. He is out for the money, the biggest amount of cash he can get, aka the WWE Undisputed Universal Championship. And just having him stroll down every now and then, lock eyes with Roman, maybe no-sell a few of Roman's moves, no-sell a Superman punch or something like that, would be really fun. And having that fear lingering over Roman, I think would be really, really good and really interesting to play on the insecurities of Roman. And he's never really faced a giant, a unit like this. He's faced Brock, I suppose, but not a unit like Bronson Reed if you want to present him that way. I think he'd do wonders with the Money in the Bank briefcase. Coming in at number 4, we have my heart's pick, but it's probably never going to happen. Pour one out for Chad Gable. Chad Gable, one of the funniest all-rounders in WWE. He could easily just have comedy gold with the Money in the Bank briefcase. He could be so funny. He could be so endearing as a goofy babyface trying to win the championship, trying to cash in. He would be phenomenal with the belt. He has the wrestling prowess. He has the charisma. He has the promo ability. He has everything that could carry the Money in the Bank briefcase. And I think he's one who doesn't need to win. He probably won't win if he's cashing in on goddamn Roman Reigns. But I think his association with the briefcase could put him into that upper mid-card main event scene if that's something that fans want. And I think we do. I think we're ready to cheer Chad Gable fully as an underdog babyface, and putting the Money in the Bank on him could only help that. Speaking of underdog babyfaces, we have the king of underdog babyfaces, Johnny Gargano. This is someone who I'd like to see go through the trials of Money in the Bank, maybe get